Well, speaking of journalists who've been called liars, and according to Conan and Disco, he's actually in quite a lot of backstage heat in a bad way at the minute these days. Dave Meltzer, because ever since that whole thing where he reported that Rollins rallied the troops backstage, which didn't happen, and then Meltzer had to come out and admit that he had lied or made the story up. You also had a run in with Meltzer, and see the thing about Meltzer is I like the guy, and he's an upcoming guest on this podcast in a couple of weeks or January or whatever. But he seems to be very much so. What's your take on this match? What do you think about this? And then if anyone says anything differently to Meltzer, they're blocked, and he won't take any shit online. And you and him had a run in online, which I did catch quite a bit of it on the phone. So let's hear the story about Matt versus Dave.
Well, Dave, Dave is one of the greatest wrestling journalists of all time, and he's kind of arrogant, right? He's pretty arrogant. And he's a lot like Vince Russo in the sense that he gets a lot of shit from a lot of people all day long, most of it unwarranted. So when someone like him, someone like me criticizes him for something that's real, he kind of can confuse it and can think it's me being a hater. He did something where he said that the Double or Nothing demand was like the All Out demand for AEW was 137,000 people. Like 137,000 people wanted to buy tickets. It was a ridiculous notion, and it was one that kind of looked to me harmful to AEW. And I said so, and he was resentful about that. He had no math to back it up. Dave very much believes in AEW, definitely wants him to succeed. I'm not saying he's biased. I'm just saying you can just tell. He just loves AEW. And then him and Dutch Mantel got into it online about some stuff. And Dave somehow thought I was involved. And he put it out there. Matt Koon's behind this, but I was not behind it. So I have a little thing against Dave because Dave just made up something about me and put it out there. Never apologized for it. He knows it's wrong. Never apologized for it. But again, I understand where he's coming from because he gets so much shit. But I will say, as far as that Seth Rollins story, I put it out there that night on Twitter because I got a DM from a wrestler who said, hey, this shit never happened. Seth Rollins never spoke up. And I even tweeted that. I think I tweeted to David Bixenspan. I said, hey, listen, I heard that it didn't happen. I don't know where Dave got this information from, but the meeting took place and Seth never spoke up. And everybody knew that Seth didn't speak up. But some people think there was a Reddit post that predated Dave's report, and Dave just got the report from the Reddit post. That doesn't sound like Dave. It sounds like Dave probably confirmed it with someone else who may have not been there. We haven't heard why he got the story wrong, but you got to understand Dave does a million stories, so he's going to get some wrong once in a while. We can't let that define him.
But of all the wrestlers to have a problem with Booker T, that is not a man I'd want fucking in the bad books of.
Oh, you mean Meltzer?
Yeah.
Booker T. Well, there's also a thing with Meltzer. You can hear it with Pritchard and Bischoff and some of these old school guys that just hate Meltzer for his existence. His existence of being somebody who reports on the backstage stuff of WWE. That's a very true thing. The fuck Dave Meltzer thing is very much born out of the secret society of wrestling where they don't think any secrets should get out. So there's that as well. So I understand that a lot of people want to say that Dave is a bad guy or Dave does wrong, but Dave is doing a job that really no one in the industry wanted him to do, and he created his own industry that way, so you have to respect him for that.
Would you like to hear my quick Booker T story?
Sure.
So it was maybe 13 years ago. I was at a SmackDown show, and he was King Booker, and we'd got these front row seats, and there was this drunk guy. Yeah, there was a drunk guy at an Ireland show. I couldn't believe it either. And so King Booker's doing his, meeting his royal, whatever you call them, servants or whatever, around the ringside. This fucking dumb drunk guy, and I don't know how he leaned over. He got maybe half a foot from Booker T's face, and obviously I'm not going to say the word, but he yelled, "You effing N-word," right into Booker T's face. And Booker T just broke character, took his crown off, took his cloak off, and just stepped towards the guy, and the fucking drunk guy literally turned a shade of green, and his legs went because he almost shit himself, and I loved that. What an arsehole to say that to Booker T. To say it to anyone, obviously, but what a lunatic to say that.
Yeah, I don't think you would find that in America. I don't know. Like, I definitely don't think you would find it in America in the last 10, 15 years. Maybe before that, you might hear racial expletives being thrown out to wrestlers. That's just that person deserves whatever he gets if he's doing that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but if Booker T had have got to him, Booker T would currently be in jail.
Oh, dude, Booker T's a big dude. I'd say maybe 6'2", and he also looks right now exactly like he looked like 20 years ago. I saw him, face to face, 6 months ago, and he looks very much the same. He's a very intimidating fella.
Oh, definitely.